Good evening. Imagine walking for miles on a dusty road in rural northern Uganda. In the heat of the African sun, no shoes on your feet, no clean water to drink. It is the late 80s, and you're a child on your way to school in a country where civil war has just started. The journey is long, but when you eventually get there, the excitement takes over and makes that long trek worthwhile. In school, you hope to put worries aside, learn something new, and be with your friends. The journey back has its own worries. Is my family safe? Will there be food at home tonight? Will I be able to come tomorrow? Will my parents be able to pay school fees? As difficult as this scenario feels, it's not uncommon. I am Maureen Patterson, founder and CEO of REN International, and this was my story. But despite these difficulties, I was very fortunate. As a girl, my experience could have been very different. It is still for a lot of girls in the country. Luckily, my father was a progressive thinker. He believed all children, girls and boys, must have equal rights to education, and he made sure I attended school. However, after more than 2 decades of civil war, where the Lord's Resistance Army displaced over 2 million people, destroyed schools everywhere, and kidnapped over 30,000 children, people's attitudes towards education were not positive. Not everyone thought like my father, and as a result, children's learning were negatively impacted from nursery to secondary school. Today, around 20% of rural families live below the poverty line. Less than 25% of rural children complete primary education. In most schools, the teacher ratio is 1 to 200. Most schools have no meals, no borehole to get clean water, no boarding facilities for children who have nowhere else to live. When my father passed away, and in breaking with cultural tradition, he decided to distribute his farmland between all his children. Usually, only men get the right to inheritance. And in 2016, on the same land he left me, I built the Willow Nursery and Primary School. My goal was simple: to maintain his legacy and eradicate rural illiteracy. We started with 36 pupils and on temporary structure for classrooms. Today, we have over 400 students, and the school has become more than just a classroom with a chalkboard. There are 10-year groups from K1 to Primary 7, with the subjects ranging from phonics to English, maths, science, and financial literacy. A library, a motorbike that allows us to reach the nearest town 44 kilometers away, dormitories for up to 60 pupils, a hot meal for every student, a borehole that provides clean water to the school and the surrounding community, a farm that supplies 40% of food consumed in the school and teaches our students about agriculture, trade, and food security. The impact has been immense. Of the 400 children registered, 80% attend school regularly and 75% are literate, a higher percentage than other rural schools. We are top 5 for teacher retention and quality of teaching. A pupil said, "Before the school was providing lunch, I would not eat for 2 or 3 days, and I did not come to school every day. But since the school is giving us food, I attend school every day because I know there is food and learning." And 80% of our parents recommend Willow School to other parents. Since 2016, we have started to make the school more financially sustainable so that we don't rely as much on philanthropic donations. Parents pay school fees, which covers 30% of our annual running costs. We sell our farm produce and sell our roosters. But we need your help to get to the next stage of development. With £10,000, we will purchase a milling machine, which would enable us to process locally grown crops, such as maize and cassava, into flour and other products. This will reduce expenditure on taking our maize to other machines, which currently costs around £2,000 a year. By having this machine, we can also teach our pupils practical skills on agriculture, business, and food production. We would also expand the school farm to invest in tools and irrigation that allows us to produce fruit and vegetables throughout the year. We will also buy animals like chicken, goats, and cows, which can produce eggs, milk to be sold to generate income. With a bigger farm, we can also increase its purpose as a learning hub, teaching children about sustainable farming practices and food production. Lastly, we would also improve the school and students' well-being by buying tables and chairs, shoes to those who still can't afford them, and decorate the classrooms. Together, we have the power to do something extraordinary. By supporting the Willow School, you are not just building classrooms, you're helping us open minds, unlock futures, and transform an entire rural community. So I invite you to stand with us and help us turn the page on rural illiteracy. Thank you.